Hi, I'm Andrew. This is an old English novel called My Japanese Wife, and I use this novel to teach people advanced English. This is the second extract from this book, and it follows straight on from the first extract. So if you want to follow the story, you can find the first story in my playlist. The way this works is we look at the extract, and then I explain several advanced words to you. So, on with the extract. My friends at Nagasaki told me that I was foolish to marry a musume, especially as I was to return to England so soon. Why not hire one for the remaining period of your stay? Suggested Kutmasu, who dined with me at my little toy-like villa so often that he began to offer advice as a matter of course. Misawa would find you a musume, he continued, whom you could put off as easily as an old glove. A real musume, not a geisha girl with a past, an ambiguous present, and a who-knows-what future. Others of my friends laughed till they made the paper partitions of my house shiver like the strings and parchment of the samisen. You will tire of her, said they. Yet others with a knowing smile, she will tire of you. They are all the same, butterflies that change with the day, moths which the night air of reality blows to pieces. But I would not be advised. Advice is so cheap, one seldom values it. Besides, had I not lived in Japan long enough to know what I was doing? The only soul on earth who could have deterred me was Lou, that terrible sister who, before I had come out east, had formulated so many plans for my settling down, who had selected, much as she would have a bonnet or a dress, and with almost as much care, several nice girls, any one of whom she had thought would make me a good wife. But Lou was thousands of miles away. How I revelled in that fact, and would only be made wise after the event. Now, as Musume is looking over me as I write, she knows as much English as I Japanese. I must set down how I met her. So, let's look at the vocabulary. Ambiguous. Something which is ambiguous is unclear. It might be one thing, it might be something else. For example, he used a word that has two different meanings, but it was impossible to tell from the context which meaning he intended. It was ambiguous. A partition. As a noun, this is a device used to separate two things or part of a room, like this. As a verb, it means to separate something into separate pieces. For example, they decided to partition the country. Parchment. This is just a word for old paper of the type that they used in ancient Egypt. To deter. If you deter somebody from doing something, then you do something which makes the other person not want to do something. So, for example, if you tell your dog off every time it gets on the sofa, then you may deter your dog from doing this in the future. We also use the phrasal verb to put somebody off to mean the same thing as to deter. For example, I was put off going to that restaurant by a bad review which it got. A bonnet. This is simply a hat that has a string that you wear beneath your chin. Or it can also mean the part of your car that the engine is in, the metalwork on the top. But here, in this extract from the book, it means a hat, like this. Finally, to revel. If you revel in something, then you take great pleasure in it. For example, he revelled in the attention that he received from the pretty girl. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's extract from the book. If you did, please subscribe to this channel because there are many more extracts coming. Thank you and goodbye.